For generations, the United Kingdom has stood as a beacon of opportunity, a destination where dreams of a brighter future seemed within reach. For many aspiring students and professionals from Pakistan, the UK has long symbolized the gateway to world-class education, career growth, and long-term stability for their families. But today, that vision is facing a serious reckoning. A growing crisis is unfolding across Britain's immigration landscape. The UK government has initiated a sweeping crackdown on visa holders, leading to revoked permits and abrupt disruptions in the lives of countless international residents. And as the data unfolds, a troubling pattern emerges, one that seems to disproportionately affect Pakistani nationals. Take, for example, the story of a student who found himself caught in the crosshairs of this tightening immigration regime. My visa was delayed by the Home Office. I couldn't even attend my lectures because the visa hadn't arrived. Some of my classmates had worse attendance records, yet their visas weren't affected. Why was I singled out? His words paint a picture of frustration and despair, of feeling targeted despite fulfilling the required conditions. I chose this university because I truly wanted to study here. But instead, the institution has left me stranded without explanation. And his experience is not isolated. There are numerous accounts of individuals who were only steps away from securing indefinite leave to remain, the UK's equivalent of permanent residency, only to watch those hopes unravel overnight. With little warning, their legal status was rescinded, their future thrown into uncertainty. The government, meanwhile, has defended its actions as necessary to uphold the integrity of the immigration system. According to official statements, any individual found residing or studying in the UK through what is classified as non-compliant means will face immediate visa cancellation. But for those affected, this crackdown doesn't feel like impartial law enforcement. It feels like selective enforcement. The question lingers, is this truly about protecting immigration standards, or is a particular community bearing the brunt of these measures? Today, we go beyond the headlines and official press releases. We examine the real lives behind the statistics. These are stories of ambition interrupted, of students and professionals grappling with decisions that could alter their futures forever. Before we continue, if you value in-depth reporting on global affairs and the voices behind the numbers, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications. Your support helps us keep these essential stories alive. Our first profile centers on a young man whose academic dreams in Britain came to an abrupt halt. Chaif Shah, a first-year student at Royal Holloway University, had begun his journey with great promise. But it was cut short when the university revoked his student visa, citing insufficient attendance. However, Chaif offers a different account. He insists that delays in his visa, caused by the Home Office itself, directly impacted his ability to attend classes early in the term. He believes that the real issue wasn't attendance, but administrative mishandling and, potentially, discriminatory treatment. I met the requirements. I was trying to build my future, but instead of support, I was penalized. As we explore more of these stories, the core question remains, is fairness truly being upheld in the UK's evolving immigration landscape? Stay with us as we continue to uncover the human cost behind the policy changes. The delay in processing Chaif's visa created a classic catch-22 situation. How could he attend his classes in London when the very document allowing him entry was still tied up in bureaucratic red tape back in Pakistan? Chaif insists he did everything he could to make up for the time lost. He submitted evidence of improved attendance and shared how the mental strain from navigating a foreign education system to coping with uncertainty triggered a serious bout of depression during his first term. But none of this seemed to matter. When his case reached the visa compliance team, his explanations were dismissed as unsatisfactory. Despite boosting his attendance to 64%, the response from his university came as a devastating blow. An email from Royal Holloway University confirmed that he had been reported to UK immigration authorities. His visa was now officially cancelled. Your attendance level was 64% with 14 unauthorized absences, the email read. Your student registration has been terminated for breaching Tier 4 visa conditions. You are now considered a leaver. The consequences for Chafe and his family were heartbreaking. His father traveled all the way from Lahore to London in a last-ditch effort to save his son's academic future. I am under immense stress, he told us. As a father, I have spent my life trying to secure a good education for my children. But now, we're at the mercy of a university that has treated my son with cold indifference. He described being stonewalled by university staff, told that all communication with the visa officer would be strictly by email, with no face-to-face dialogue possible. The emotional pressure on the family became unbearable. Back in Pakistan, Chafe's mother was hospitalized due to the stress. In the end, all efforts failed. Chafe's visa was revoked. He boarded a plane back to Pakistan, his academic aspirations in ruins, and his faith in the British education system deeply shaken. His story offers a chilling glimpse into how the fate of a student's future can hinge entirely on how a set of rules is interpreted by invisible gatekeepers. And sadly, he is not alone. The pressure on Pakistani nationals seems to extend far beyond the student visa system. Our next case involves a healthcare worker, a man we'll refer to only as AH to protect his identity. His journey, too, reveals the complexities and vulnerabilities within the UK's immigration framework. AH arrived in the UK August 2021 on a valid student visa to pursue studies at Napier University. But just a few months into his stay, he made a life-altering decision. He filed a political asylum claim during his initial screening. AH told officials that his life had been repeatedly threatened by the Pakistani government and that members of his political party were under constant attack. The seriousness of his claims raised immediate red flags within the Home Office. Officials speculated that AH had used the student visa merely as a pretext to enter the UK, with the actual intent of seeking asylum, a claim they viewed as potentially deceptive. As a result, AH was placed on immigration bail, a precarious legal position that allowed him to remain in the country and work, but left his long-term future hanging in the balance. During this period, he secured employment as a health and care worker, contributing meaningfully to a sector the UK itself had classified as critically understaffed. Recognizing his value, his employer offered him a certificate of sponsorship, enabling him to apply for a skilled worker visa. It seemed like a promising, lawful path forward, one that would allow him to continue serving in a vital industry while regularizing his immigration status. But then, the situation took another unexpected turn. In the end, AH's application for a skilled worker visa was denied, and the reasoning behind it was twofold. The Home Secretary's decision cited a clear technicality. At the time of applying, AH was under immigration bail, a status which, by UK immigration rules, automatically disqualifies an applicant from receiving a new visa. Additionally, lingering suspicions from his earlier asylum claim, specifically the belief that he may have used a student visa deceptively, remained. AH took the matter to court, challenging the refusal on grounds of irrationality. He maintained that he had every intention of studying at Napier University and had no idea upon arrival that he was eligible to seek humanitarian protection, but the court's ruling was unequivocal. Presiding over the case, Lord Harrower stated that the relevant immigration regulation was unambiguous. The fact that AH was on immigration bail was sufficient legal basis for rejecting the visa application, although the judge acknowledged that the Home Secretary perhaps should have given AH a formal opportunity to respond to the allegations of deception. The appeal was ultimately dismissed. AH, a trained and needed healthcare worker, was barred from continuing his job in the UK, trapped in a legal gray zone with no path forward. What links the stories of Chafe and AH is not just individual misfortune. It's the broader pattern that appears to be emerging. What we're witnessing isn't simply stricter enforcement, it's an immigration framework that, critics argue, has begun profiling applicants from specific national backgrounds, particularly Pakistan. The message being received by many is that Pakistani nationals are being singled out, seen as more likely to breach visa conditions or later submit asylum claims. This perception has generated a climate of fear, instability, and emotional strain among thousands of legal residents and applicants. Even those who followed every rule now live with the constant anxiety that one administrative misstep or an unproven accusation could lead to deportation or rejection. The financial toll is staggering. In 2023 alone, Pakistani applicants spent over £5.3 million on UK visa applications that were ultimately turned down. This growing phenomenon has been described as a reverse remittance, a one-sided transfer of wealth from a developing country to a wealthier one, offering no return, no benefit, and no future to the applicant. Visa refusal rates tell part of the story. For short-term visas alone, rejection rates for Pakistani nationals are nearing 40%. But behind those numbers lie shattered plans, families torn apart, and a mounting sense of injustice. So how does the UK government justify this increasingly hardline approach? Officials argue that it's essential to manage immigration levels responsibly and prevent abuse of the system, particularly by individuals who arrive on student visas and later shift to asylum claims. But critics say this policy is overly simplistic and dangerously discriminatory. They contend that genuine applicants are being caught in the dragnet, punished by a process that too often lacks both fairness and nuance. The very right to seek asylum, a principle safeguarded under international law, is now viewed by some as an act of suspicion rather than one of desperation. The stories of Chafe and are just two among many. Across the UK, countless Pakistani nationals are entangled in similar struggles, stuck in legal limbo, and waiting for decisions that may determine the course of their lives. This isn't only about visa rules or border policy. It's about people, about the real human cost of a system that, in trying to maintain control, may be sacrificing compassion, equity, and the very ideals it once promised. What's your take on all this? Have you or someone close to you been affected by the UK's visa decisions or immigration policies? We invite you to share your thoughts and personal experiences in the comments below. Your voice matters, and your story might help shed light on the reality behind the policy. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth reporting on the issues that truly matter.